in the lecture series on Introduction to Radar System. Right now we are discussing solid state RF power sources, and in this umbrella we are discussing the gun diode. Gun diode is a transferred electron device. It's a bulk semiconductor device with no junctions. So though we have some idea that diode means we must have some junction, but it is not like that. It has got two leads, and basic semiconductor is just one piece of semiconductor. These TEDs are fabricated from compound semiconductors such as gallium arsenide. These transfer electron devices operate with hot electrons whose energy is very much greater than the thermal energy. The current in the specimen become a fluctuating function of time. In that case, negative resistance will manifest itself under certain conditions. Oscillation will occur if the gallium arsenide specimen is connected to a stable tuned circuit. It is seen that the voltage across the gallium arsenide is very high and electron velocity is also high. So this is the basic structures of gun diode, and this is the package, S4 package. Now to understand the gun effect in gun diode, we will consider the famous two-valley model, which is also called the Ridley-Watkins-Hillsum model or RWH model. So according to this two-valley model, there are two regions in the conduction band in which charge carriers can exist. Here charge carrier means electrons. These regions are called valleys and are designated by the upper and lower valley. So this one is upper valley, this one is lower valley. Now gallium arsenide is direct band gap semiconductor. So for same momentum or K space, we have this L valley, lower valley, and at a energy difference of 0.36 electron volt, we have another valley, which is the upper valley. According to RWH theory, electrons in the lower valley have low effective mass and consequently a high mobility, nearly 8000 centimeter square per volt second. In the upper valley, which is separated from lower valley by potential difference of 0.36 electron volt, electrons have a much higher effective mass, nearly 1.2 times, and lower mobility of 180 centimeter square per volt second than in the lower valley. Basic mechanism involved in this operation of bulk N-type gallium arsenide device is the transfer of electrons from lower conduction valley to the upper conduction valley. Electron density thus in lower valley and upper valley remains the same under equilibrium condition. Band gap of this specimen of gallium arsenide is 1.43 electron volt. So let us see how it works. EL is the energy in the lower valley and EU is the energy in the upper valley. So when the electron energy is less than EL, so when the applied electric field is lower than the electric field of the lower valley, then electrons will occupy states in the lower valley. Thus the material is in the highest average velocity state. So electron in lower valley has high mobility. So this section, and drift velocity increases linearly with increasing potential, thus increasing the current density J and hence positive differential resistance, or we have the ohmic region actually. Now RWH theory is based on the population inversion principles. Now we will consider when the energy is in between the lower valley energy and upper valley energy. So the applied electric field is increased maybe of the order of 2 to 4 kilovolt per centimeter, higher than that of the lower valley and lower than that of the upper valley. Electrons will gain energy from it and move upward to the upper valley as the electrons, like this one, transfer to the upper valley. Their mobility decreases and the effective mass is increased, thus decreasing the current density and hence negative differential resistivity, this region. During this transfer within the conduction band, the J will fall in this way. Now when energy is greater than the upper valley energy, so applied field higher than the upper valley, all electrons will transfer to the upper valley, this one. Now if electron densities in the lower and upper valley are designated by NL and NU, the conductivity of n-type gallium arsenide sigma can be written as E into mu L NL plus mu U NU, where mu is the electron mobility and N is the electron density, E is the electronic charge. Once the electrons are in higher valley, they remain there as long as the field is greater than the critical value. So in this equation of conductivity, the mobility mu and electron density N both are function of electric field E. So we can differentiate this expression with respect to E, and we will get d sigma dE equal to E into mu L dNL dE plus mu U dNU dE plus E into NL into d mu L dE plus NU d mu U dE. Now assuming the total electron density is Nu plus NL, that is equal to N, and under this condition dE of NL plus Nu equal to dNdE, and since N is constant, so it is 0. That means dNL dE equal to minus of dNu dE. Also let mu L and mu U are proportional to e to the power p, where p is a constant, and under this condition d mu dE is proportional to dEp dE. That means p into e to the power p minus 1, that means p into e to the power p by E. So d mu dE equal to p into mu divided by E, as mu is proportional to e to the power p. Now substituting this equation C and equation D, this one, in equation B, here we can write d sigma dE equal to E into mu L plus mu U dN1 by dE plus NL mu L plus NU mu U into P by E. Now current density, as we know, that equal to sigma into E, so we can write dJ dE equal to sigma plus d sigma dE into E. So we can write 1 by sigma into dj dE equal to 1 plus d sigma t divided by sigma by E. So clearly for negative resistance, the current density J must decrease with increasing field E, or the ratio dj dE must be negative. Such would be the case if the right hand term of this equation, this one, is less than 0. So in other words, the condition for negative resistance is minus d sigma dE by sigma by E must be greater than 1. So substituting this condition, we can write mu L minus mu u divided by mu L plus mu u into F into minus E by NL dNL dE minus P. This expression must be greater than 1, where F is Nu by NL. So considering that equation, to achieve negative differential region, the band structure of the semiconductor must satisfy 3 conditions. The first condition is the separation energy between the bottom of the lower valley and the bottom of the upper valley must be several times larger than the thermal energy. Thermal energy is about 0.026 electron volt at room temperature. This means that delta E must be greater than kT, or delta E must be greater than 0.026 electron volt. The second condition, the separation energy between valleys must be smaller than the gap energy between the conduction and valence bands. That means delta E must be less than Eg. Otherwise, the semiconductor will break down and become highly conductive before the electron begins to transfer to the upper valleys, because hole electron pair formation is created. Now the third condition, electrons in the lower valley must have higher mobility, small effective mass and a low density of state, whereas those in upper valley must have low mobility, large effective mass and a high density of state. So in other words, electron velocities dE dk must be much larger in the lower valleys than in the upper valleys. So this is the equivalent circuit for the gun diode. It is a typical value of the negative differential resistance is nearly minus 5 to minus 10 ohm, and diode capacitance is Cj. So Cj and Rj are in parallel. So this is the actual along with series resistance that includes the total resistance of lead, ohmic contact and bulk resistance of the diode. So this part is the equivalent circuit for the actual diode, and since this whole diode, semiconductor diode, is inside a package, so there must be some inductive and capacitive loading due to this package. So that is represented by this LP and CP. So these are the CP is the package capacitance and LP is the package inductance. Now we will consider the gun oscillation modes. The fundamental frequency or transit time frequency can be written as F equal to Vd by L. Vd is the saturation drift velocity of the electrons through the material. Mainly gallium arsenide type of material is used. L is the length of the drift region or length of the active semiconductor portion. That is written as FTT, transit time frequency. Now we have different modes, and these are drawn with respect to this FTT. So in first we will consider the limited space charge accumulation mode, and under this condition F into L is greater than 4 into 10 to the power 7 centimeter per second. So So under this mode, the actual frequency is much greater than the transit time frequency, this one. So you have huge number of cycles within one cycle of the transit time frequency. This is what we call the limited space charge accumulation mode. Next one is the quenched domain mode. Here FL is equal to 10 to the power 7 to 4 into 10 to the power 7 centimeter per second, lower than this value. So in this case, here also F is greater than FTT, but within this time, within one cycle of the transit time frequency, you have just few number of complete cycles under this quenched domain mode. Next one is the transit time mode, and under this transit time mode, FL is nearly equal to 10 to the power 7 centimeter per second. So under this condition, the frequency is exactly equal to the transit time frequency. So within this time, we have a complete cycle of the frequency. This is what we call the transit time mode. And finally, we have the delayed domain mode, where FL equal to 10 to the power 6 to 5 into 10 to the power 6 centimeter per second. Here, F is less than the transit time frequency. So within one period of the transit time, we have only a section of the total period of the frequency. So the time period of the actual signal is larger than this TT. This is what we call the delayed domain mode. Now this is the package of the GaN diode. This one is the gold plated header mount for the device, and this one is the actual device shown here. This N is the actual active region. This length is L. So everything is actually taking place. All the operation is taking place right here, and these N plus and these N plus layers are there for proper ohmic contact, and these are the ohmic contacts. The lower part, and this one is the higher section. So it is a gold alloy for ohmic contact. This is the gold silicon alloy, and gold wire is touched this ohmic contact in this way, and it is going to the upper gold plated top cover, and whole thing is enclosed within the ceramic cover. This is actually the circular ceramic cover. So we are observing the cross section of it. So this is the packaged GaN diode, S4 package of the GaN diode. Now the typical characteristics of GaN diode. The CW power is nearly 1 watt in near 1 gigahertz frequency to 0.1 watt for 2.5 gigahertz frequency, 100 milliwatt for 18 to 26 gigahertz frequency, 40 milliwatt for 26 to 40 gigahertz frequency. Now if you consider the pulse power will be obviously little bit higher. So it's 200 watt in near 1 gigahertz frequency to 2 watt near 10 gigahertz frequency, and if you If it is operated in LSA mode, then 500 watt for 1 gigahertz frequency to 20 watt for 20 gigahertz frequency. Efficiency is of the order of 2 to 12%. Now frequency of the GAN diode can be changed by mechanical tuning and electronic tuning. Particularly for LSA mode, we have external tuning facility. Now GAN diode is mainly used an oscillator in various applications. So medium power oscillator for 1 to 100 gigahertz in microwave receivers, as a source in transponder for air traffic control in pulse mode, telemetry system in industry, pump source in parametric amplifier, as a source of radar transmitter in CW mode. So this is all about GAN diode. Thank you.